because I do 1,300 crunches and sit-ups 4 times a week.
What's a dose? Can you translate for us?
Winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Ernie Els.
Am I audible? Just check there. Hello.
How's it? Yeah.
Am I there?
What are we going with? 4. Yeah, 4's right.
Is this thing on? Hello? Is this thing on?
Up is
What are
on.
you two?
Up is on.
I don't know. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hello there.
Hi, how are you? Welcome back to the Go Track after a great little technical delay.
Still can't get it right.
Shit.
We still can't get
There
it
we
right.
are.
We're almost at 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Once you hit 100 episodes,
Once you hit 3
it's
figures,
automatically
it
right.
is. I did say to JDV, Tucky in our last episode, we are in the nervous 90s now.
Does
So
get tough.
I think we're going to stumble the shit out of the next 10 episodes. So just prepare yourselves, guys. This is the Go Track, the podcast about golf and golf adjacent stuff, mostly from Africa. Guys, exciting episode we got today. Conversational. I'm sitting here with Tucky, Hoff, JDV. Nice to see you guys. Guys, we're going to talk. We're going to get a little feedback from our Top 100 podcast. We're going to talk stadium golf. We are going to talk about Hoff's toys. You're welcome to take this in any direction you want, Hoff. It's
Interpret it as you will.
open agenda item for you. And then a little bit of competitive golf on JDV and myself side. Being the only 2 professional golfers in the Go Track.
Semi-professional.
JDV, we did a great, I thought a great podcast with Stuart McLean. We've had some feedback from a few listeners. You shared some feedback with me yesterday.
So I did get the comment that it sounded like you and I were walking on eggshells a bit around him, which I thought was pretty fair. But at the same time, it wasn't meant to. We weren't coming in there to have a go at Stuart. I think it was to hear the story, how this thing is compiled. What is the thought process that goes into it? Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't a carte blanche episode.
expose.
Yeah, we weren't gonna set the oak up and then.
There was quite a bit of prodding though.
Well, exactly.
Prodding for
so I don't think I push back a little bit. I mean, I do think we set him up and cornered him a few times with a few chess moves.
Some hard hitting journalism.
We were actually WhatsApping each other. I was WhatsApping JDV. I was like, hit him with this question, because and look, I think in summary, the goal was to get that side of the story, and I think what's pretty clear is there's still a lot of questions to be asked, and that there may be a long-term change that needs to happen. And I think Stuart kind of intimated that, where he's saying, look, guys,
I'm old.
I'm old. I've been doing this for a long time, and I really respect the job that he does, because I don't think it's easy. You could hear how much vitriol he gets from clubs and that. And they did base the rankings on the Golfers Digest's criteria and all of that. But what's clear is that a lot of that stuff I don't think is always a true reflection of people's feelings and X factors of golf courses when it's so quantitative.
It's not as objective as it's made out to be. Sort of when you look at the criteria, it seems so objective until you dig in, and there's a huge amount of subjectivity.
I was going to
eye
say,
test.
I think you guys were searching hard for the facts, and it was very much the feedback was this is pretty subjective.
But that being said,
go back 2 years later, I might feel completely different about the golf course.
The design
and he
will
said
change.
that, and I get that. I mean, to be honest with you, I sometimes do that when I go to a golf course that I think I hate it, and then I go, shit, this is actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Nice day today, sunny. Is that a beer?
But I think what he also made an interesting point was that South Africans have a very different perspective on course architecture and what makes a good course. I mean, even from his perspective, I mean, he was when we asked him about his favorites, I mean, they actually probably mirrored some of our favorites a bit more than what the sort of top 10
I thought that was
is.
the best part, actually. I thought he was going to hold back on giving his favorites, bearing in mind how much hate he said that he gets. But yeah, I mean, it was Umdoni, it was Champagne Sports,
East
London.
East London. That was a good one to pull in.
Country club.
So that was quite cool. So at least we know
A lot
something
of KZN. I thought KZN came out really well out of that podcast because he gave a lot of praise to our conditioning. I think
our value for money.
KZN's shining at the moment.
Came out winning. Maybe not in the actual ranking numbers, but in enjoyment.
Yeah. So. I think okay. I can see we're gonna go down a rabbit hole here if we do this. So we're not gonna do this now. But I think just to say, guys, we are gonna do I think JDV, we spoke about just a ranking discussion in general. And we'll bring the top 100 into that. But we're gonna do that as a separate pod. So look for that for more of our reaction from that pod. And then also just generally, like how are these things done globally, and then how some people are starting to disrupt rankings, because I think that's an interesting part. And courses partaking or opting out. There's a lot of. You can see
I thought his point about like there not being that many golf courses in South Africa and having to like push to a top 100 is maybe actually a little bit far. And once he said that, I was like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. And it probably would be better if it's like a top 20, top 30, or maximum top 50, where you're pushing into there and then okay, are we in the elite category? Whereas at the moment, if you think about it from like the total number of golf courses, if you're 95, it's actually not as good as you think
you're
it
only
is.
in the top half.
Exactly. So
I think he said there's 250
odd
20 or the 18-hole golf courses or something. Spot on. I mean, that's exactly how I feel. I said to JDV, I think it should be a top 30 with then
honorable mentions.
Then just some tiers after that. So like a silver medal, well done. Because when you look at the criteria, you can move 10, 11, 12 places in some of those lower categories because the points are decimals. And courses might take that really personally. Oh, I dropped from 53 to 63. But it's like, it's really,
such a minor change.
It's actually not that big a change. Whereas like, no, that's actually just a bronze medal or whatever it is. That's kind of how I think
my
it should
thing
be
is,
done.
Like, where's the emphasis is obviously like when you look at the rankings, you want to see where like your home club is, where the courses that you play a lot of your golf are. So like when you see what's happening down between 80 and 100 and you see clubs moving around, you sort of say, well, they're pretty interchangeable at the end of the day. So you like, I know that if it's your golf course, you're going to be like pretty sour about it. But like at the end of the day, I think from a general population perspective, you're going, okay, well.
So if you've got the actual rankings top 30, and then what T is saying, because I think 30 to 60, as agree with you, they're like pretty interchangeable. So 30 to 60, you just list the courses that are 30 to 60 in alphabetical order, and they will get a silver medal. And again, 60 to 100 is probably pretty indistinguishable, so they get the bronze medal. And if you get a medal, it's like the tourism rating that you are a top 100 course essentially, but there's none of this like between those.
You're a top 100
ranks.
golf course.
Correct.
That's it. Doesn't matter like whereabouts you are in the top 100, but
yes,
well,
in that band
after like after 30. Yeah,
awesome.
sorry,
solved. Done. Forget it. We're not doing the pod anymore.
Stuart, if you're listening to this, we've solved the problem. You took your life's work. We solved in 5 minutes.
I'd say watch the space on the ranking side. Because potentially we've got some suggestions / ideas of our own. Taki, you and I had a wonderful, let's call it lunch break together.
Yeah, it was
a couple of weeks ago. Might have been a couple of beers part of that lunch break. But we played golf inside the Kingsmead cricket stadium. Tell me why we were there. How did this thing originate? And what your take on the whole thing is.
So what Heinrich Stratum is, he's the CEO of Dolphins Cricket. He said, well, our stadium just sits here for 4 months now between the end of the season and the start of the new season. And he was like, well, we need to try and generate some form of income. So when he was at Northwest, so he was in Potch originally, and he said they did like a version of stadium golf. And he thought, well, now I'm in Durban, I play golf. He's an absolute golf nut. He was like, let's do it here. I've got a bigger budget. I've got a better stadium. I've got better facilities. And so they did it last year I think it was just before the season started. So it was a bit later. And it was a resounding success. So like it's an 18-hole course. You have think about like 8 or 9 holes on the field, but then you also go into like the back of the field, back of the stadium almost. So you're going in, like as you walk into Kingsmead, there's a hole outside the training nets, all obviously short holes. I think the longest was about 60 meters. The longest hole, the stroke one, and they're all stroked as well, which is incredible.
Which is debatable.
Yeah,
some of the strokes.
Yeah, like
I think there were 12 holes in the stadium and 6 outside.
Yeah, so not all of the holes were on the field, which made it really cool. So like you finish the one hole, then you walk up where the players walk down onto the field, you walk up there through the back.
It's a great way
to the practice nets.
Like it's a great way to. I went to part of the stadium that I've never been to before. Like you walk through the tunnels, you stand up in the high stand, you go through where the guys practice in the nets, little chip and putt there. You see the indoor facility.
Yeah.
So no, I thought it was brilliant.
And well, that's the other thing is that like guys were like that was a huge part of it. I think is that I had at least 4 people telling me they were like, I've never seen this bit of the stadium before. There were a couple of holes in the practice nets where you were like chipping on the grass in the practice nets, and you're like,
which is a bit,
it gets a bit tight,
it's a bit jarring. I was going to see the way some oaks chip.
Basically, this is practice for like the Indian pitches when you're getting like someone bowls it into a divot.
Those the steel poles on the nets were getting peppered.
Yeah, really.
But
a lot of oaks were putting from like 40 meters out, and
so then like
those are my best holes, by the way. Just FYI, I was flipping on fire
in the nets.
Yeah, I was on fire in the nets.
So like they had a couple of holes where you hit up onto the banks, the grass embankments, which were tough. Those greens were pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, like very, very hard to get it anywhere near the actual flag.
But you know what you're getting at the end of the day. So like that is it. But
stroke one.
I mean, that should have been. It was
those two. There were 2. One
there
onto
were
Castle
2
Corner.
Where you were putting basically on the turf where it like sits.
Castle Corner was one, and then
not as
onto
primed
the
as the turf on the field. But I mean, getting to the turf on the field, so where most of the greens were, it's legit oaks. I mean, that Kingsmead grass is proper. I mean, probably plays like a lot of our 9-holers in South Africa. Like it's so. I think the point there is that if you did 18 holes of just like mucking around in and out of stadium and it wasn't like a decent level of grass, I think it would be a bit tough. But the fact that you had a good 10 holes where you're hitting onto good turf,
and you're putting,
and you can chip,
and it's
you can roll the putts. It was really tough. For me, it's like things like that always make me think about what is golf? Like what is the game of golf? It's like. And I remember saying this, JDV, I think it was in our Mashy episode that we did, which was, goodness gracious, that was a long time ago, bro. I have to re-listen to that one. But we were just talking about how basically like, with Mashy, like really at the end of the day, you're just trying to hit a white ball into a hole. And whether it's on a big course or a little course, like whether it's putt or flip, the game, that for me, that's what the game of golf is. It's not always, doesn't always have to be 18-hole golf, driver. And so much fun just doing that. I mean, I'm sure as kids, everyone remembers playing in their backyard and making putt courses. So it was a really, really kiff idea. I think we need to get more involved next year.
Yeah.
Really cool. I think they did it over 3 days or 2 days. There was a night golf element. So
I played the night golf on the Wednesday night. And so they actually had one bank of the stadium lights on, and then you obviously had your glow-in-the-dark ball.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was very cool.
And the support, I mean, was it well supported?
Yeah, very, very well supported. They were full, and they had tea times from 8 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon.
Well, till later. I mean, because they played the night
So golf. They only played night golf on 2 of the days. Okay. Because it's expensive to run those lights. But
pay a little more for night golf.
Yeah. But it was so lucky they put plants around the greens. There was like a water hazard on the 18th. They had bunkers.
I found a bunker. Yeah. Not easy to get out of.
But I think, and there was the cool thing was that they put the live scoreboard up on the big screen.
That was actually great.
So you were all on score capture and you could see like it was updating live, and you had to be in the top 6, I think, in order to qualify for the final day. They had a final day on Saturday night.
Well, the big question is, how close were you guys to qualifying?
How close were we?
We were close. and then I think we shat the bed on like the last 2 holes. I think we finished 10th, and we had to be 7th. But like the margins got so small towards the end. Yeah, it was basically like it was a shot here and there.
Yeah.
But it was.
I think I missed about a 2-foot putt on the 17th, which was tough.
From Castle Corner down.
Yes.
Yeah. We teed off from the Castle Corner.
Yeah, you tee off inside Castle, like inside the bar.
On the top there.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool. Really kept. And they had loads of corporate support as well. Obviously, you could sponsor holes and stuff like that. So I'd like to see this more, like more cricket stadiums. I think it's ingenious use of the. I think the turf thing is a real thing. Like I don't think you can just do it at like a high school.
And you can't
like
do it
on
at
the
a rugby
rugby
ground.
fields.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can.
You do want to be able to hit like a decent chip and it doesn't bounce 5 meters left. You know what I mean? I think the balance there is good having it at the cricket ground.
Yeah, you want to keep the variables as small as possible.
But the thing is, you can also do the converse. Hoff, I know at Cotswold you see it quite a lot where the golf course actually becomes a cricket pitch.
Or a rugby field.
Yeah.
But I also think like golf courses don't do this enough on their own turf. Like make like little small courses, you know. Like
Cotswold do it quite a bit.
Yeah,
they do that little par 3, which is so much fun.
So
and
like
it's quick.
Make the short course. Make it 5 holes, 6 holes. You know. I like you've got the turf. Like it's literally you could do it on your fairways. You don't even have to put the holes on the greens. You know.
So I know that Steve was talking about trying to put some like boxes into some of the areas to create like a little 6-hole par 3 that you can sort of convert the course and say, okay, like there's actual boxes that are like the par 3. I know that I think the links do that. They've got like a par 3 component to it that they can sort of transform the course into, which is quite cool.
In fan courts?
Yeah.
They've got a whole par 3 course next door to...
Or maybe that was before they built the actual par 3 course.
You'll see when you get there, don't worry. You're gonna grow up this year. You're breaking your virginity, your links virginity. All right. Now we move on to agenda item number 3. Hoff's toys. Hoff, we spoke about these amazing things that were arriving via courier, where you decided to buy one and then it came bundled, and you thought, well, I may as
they're
well,
packages.
I may as well bundle it up with a few other things. You know, as we know, the S&M community is broad in what they offer.
Some rubber, some wood, all different.
Some spikes.
Textures.
You feel different on different days.
There were some raised eyebrows when that delivery arrived at the reception, and there's like black lacy, belty things. That
Not about lacy. But,
this is for Carl.
Leathery.
Leathery is a good way to describe it. Yeah, look, there was a couple of packages, and it sort of lures you in. It's like YouTube coaching, but in a different category. It's sort of, you go on for one thing, and then you're like, maybe my wrist hinge is not great, and I need that wrist hinge thing, or what's my grip like? So I got
is the sort of equipment. This isn't even equipment. This is like a special. This is a training aid.
Aids.
Yeah.
Because
my algorithm hasn't I haven't been thrown down that rabbit hole.
Well, you just need to.
But once you do one click, does it take you deep?
It's insane. It's
Really?
still deep. Like it's properly
You're like,
deep.
I'm converted. You can leave me alone now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've already bought 6 items off your website.
I bought that one, but they got a new version of it.
It's hectic. I was going to say the algorithm gets you hard, like very, very hard. So
Careful.
Yeah,
Talking of hard, how hard was it?
But look, some of the items are definitely better than others. I mean, there were a couple of items that I really wanted to get, and obviously through the packaging, I ended up with items that I didn't plan to get. And
are we still talking about golf?
If I'm,
I was worried.
If I'm honest, the ones that I did want to get are the ones that have given me some value. So I mean, so there was some positive reinforcement. So like the grip aid, I realized that my grip was actually pretty good. So I gave that to my 2.5-year-old.
It took you this long in your life to realize that you had a good grip.
2.5-year-old.
I didn't want to check it before, But once I saw it on the website, I was like, maybe this is the difference between 25 handicap and 5. That's how they make it out.
Kind of the first thing that a teaching pro should.
So I put it onto my Lati's like plastic club. So he now grips the club. He has to grip it properly. So I thought that was quite a good idea. So now he just doesn't grip it with 2 hands. He grips it with 1. So it's gone the other way. But anyway,
we're definitely talking about golf.
Yeah, now we're talking about golf.
Okay,
Golf
okay.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
switched to okay.
So,
Golf training.
but the ones that are good, I mean, you see some of the pros using them. So it's basically the ball that goes around it's got like a lanyard, and then you put it between your arms, and that has made a huge difference in my ball striking.
Were you
insane.
like going out like
Softball.
Must have been.
and you?
So putting that on has, I mean, ask JDV. Like my ball striking in the last 2 rounds has been as consistent as it's ever been and better.
Problem is he's striking the ball with the same consistency on his putts.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say it. I think
Do
golf
you have a
is
putting aid?
golfers. I do actually, but not from this stint. This was a previous stint that I got a putting aid and it was useless. Anyway, but like anything to do with golf, like once you perfect one thing, another thing goes, right? So, like the ball striking has been much better, but the putting has been absolutely horrendous.
Has
For the first time in a
has
long
the Scotty
time.
Cameron gone cold?
It's gone properly cold. Yeah.
Cotswold,
icy.
Cotswold greens are properly difficult.
Yeah, so I mean, the last round that I played, and JDV can fill me in here, maybe I'm being a little bit over the top, but like ball striking wise, I felt like I was around like the 85 mark in terms of score, and putting wise like 130, and so I ended up on 100. But I played way better than that in difficult conditions, like the greens were running really, 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 really fast.
Was
What
that
were
at
they?
Cotswold?
11 and a half, eh?
11
on
and
the
a half,
stump.
yeah.
So
And when you played at Royal,
Royal played really nicely. Putted nicely because they're easier greens, and yeah, the ball striking was really good. So the feedback on those items are good. So I've got 2. The one's completely useless, but the one with the lanyard,
So that's your number 1 ranked item.
yeah,
I'd say.
100%.
It's the useless one, that orange one with the sticks.
the green one with the sticks.
The green one with the sticks. But that's the one that I've seen the pros.
So
using that one as well.
some of the pros, they between that and the lanyard one, that's the one you see most commonly used. I mean, I saw Mark Hollick using the black one the other day. That's the one with the lanyard. So I mean, guys are using them, and it has definitely made a difference. What I am interested to see is my first lesson with Trav is next week, Wednesday, which obviously we're going to try and document through the pod and see if these guys are snake oil salesmen or not, to see if they make any kind of difference or
I
not.
can't believe Trev agreed to this. Like, I think he understands what he signed up for.
But I mean, I'm going to talk to him about it and be like, look, is this something I must do without? Is it something that we can bring or whatever, and get his take on it? But I mean,
Hoff's going to arrive like Father Christmas with one of those bags on his back and be
have
like,
you
he said I must bring them.
Have you prepped him for what sort of assets you're bringing along with you?
or the lack thereof. I mean, I've prepped him on the liabilities that I'm bringing along with me. I'm like,
I mean, like your inventory pile of gear, like outside of your clubs.
Look,
Are you going to lay it out?
in
like
terms of like
like a
actual
soldier.
feedback for these items, I've got 6 of them, and one of them is good.
Okay.
So the rest is basically just
Did you get the wrist thing?
The wrist set.
No,
It's
that-
terrible.
Is that the one like the glove with the metal thing that stops you from hinging your wrist?
no,
It's
'Cause
not-
that one's
it's not
caught me hard.
It's not a glove. It's like a hinge that goes onto your club, and then when it's got like a yellow thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
catches your
I
arm.
think Garrick Higo used that thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he uses most of it.
So that
So
that one I didn't like. The some of the others are weird.
The guy
Terrible.
that I had lessons with last year, he tried like a couple of different things with me, and he was like, if it doesn't talk to you within the first like couple of swings, he's like, then it's not right for you.
Yeah, and that's why
And
the
there are
one,
a couple of those things, like the wrist hinge thing. For me, my swing, I just don't do that. And I was like, there's no ways I'm changing my swing to like conform with
well,
this.
the ball was interesting because like if you slow the swing down, if you put it on camera, like it does so many good things. It's not just keeping your arms together; it's keeping your width in the swing. It's keeping your arms out in front of you rather than coming in. And then through contact, because you're trying to keep your arms together, it squares your face so much better, especially for me. I mean, if you looked at my swing slow down before, like it's over the top and your face is completely open, which is a slice, like a massive slice. So you can understand it.
Starting right and turning right.
Correct. And look, there's other things like where your feet are and all of that. That's I guess
So
coaching.
there's one place to test the slice. It's at
But
Royal.
I must say this one, and I'm not gonna call out what its name is because then all of you will be in the algorithm. But I definitely
phone
think
off.
that it's been massively beneficial. So we'll see if it makes a difference with the coaching. But yeah, I mean, JDV, you're the only one that's seen me play.
We should get into the game, guys. Maybe we should release our own ball, like the goat ball, goat track ball.
The thing is, you stick a couple of lineman sticks on anything, and you put your arms
Pull
through
noodles.
contacts,
And I reckon golfers are the most gullible people in the world. Like, you think about it.
100%.
When you're watching YouTube videos, you're like, that's obviously going to work for my swing.
Yeah. Just do these 3 moves and you'll never slice again. You're like, oh, that's definitely for me.
Yeah, I tried
So we
that.
could
The
do
problem is then I duck hook it 50 fucking meters left. So it's okay, cool.
You know what?
I've taken right out of play, but now it's going
the
100 meters left.
worst part is I spent a decent amount on all of these things from what I thought were pretty legitimate places, and then obviously algorithm wise, the exact same items came up on Temu for a 10th of the price.
So there is money to be made then.
But I mean, as I said,
Case.
ask JDV, because he's the only one that's seen me play since I've been using that one, and I think it's made a difference. Obviously not the putting, but
No, I said, and I'll say it again. I mean, the couple of times we've played since you've had them, your ball striking's been better than I've ever seen your ball striking. I mean, I think from a consistency perspective, I think you always, when you got it right, you could smoke it, but then there was chunk after chunk after chunk after thin. But I mean, consistent ball striking, it's the best I've seen.
And in the hole, you're not playing 3 off the tee, you're playing 1. Even if you're not in the middle of the fairway, you're in the hole. I mean, the last round, I'd say most holes I was either on the green or to the side of the green for 2, and then
walking away with 6.
But I still would take that
100%,
over just reloading, off the tee or chunking.
I mean, so much more fun
Yeah.
than I mean, my most consistent shot before these last 2 rounds was the punch out.
Strokes gain, punching out.
You're against a
fairway
tree
on the left, trees on the right.
You got something from the roots. You got your neck twisted because there's a branch on top of you. That's not fun, And very few rings. So if the putter can come, and sand is a problem. Sand's a bit.
That's a whole new ball
It is
game.
easy to not ring a hole when you're playing scramble drive as well, I suppose.
No, you played
No,
a
no,
proper,
this was
proper
Cotswold.
round at Cotswold.
No, I'm just teasing you. I know at Royal you guys are playing scramble drive.
Well, you used quite a few of mine.
No, I'm sure. I saw some of your swings actually because
Yeah.
JDV sent me. It was in our video on Instagram.
Yeah, Hoff, you were in the video.
You're in the video.
And
Nice.
it's looking good.
Oh, I saw that ball taking off.
So there's still an over-the-top problem, but
it's fun.
The nice thing about what's happening now is that it's not a slice, it's a fade, and it's almost controllable. So I know where to aim to get the ball in somewhere in the right area, which before, like JDB says, yes, I could smoke one into the middle of the green, but one could also go completely 90 degrees right. And that's cuck. I mean, my sort of game feedback is less about score and probably more about balls lost, honestly. And playing in the conditions that we did at Cotswold, which was tough, I didn't lose a ball. So that was a big feedback factor for me. So yeah, if you're out there and you want to get better at golf, just use these 3 training aids.
I can't wait to see when Trav
balls.
gets into you with a bit of coaching as well, to sort of marry the two together.
Well, that is super exciting for me and super worrying for me at the same time, because I've been to coaches before, and if they don't have you on a program or a trajectory, and it's just a new lesson every time, and they're trying to give you a Tiger Woods swing, you stuffed. If he's going to try and work with what I've got and slowly improve certain things, then I'm super excited.
I reckon Tiger Woods had a few training aids as well, on and off the course.
And a couple of different coaches.
Hoff, I'm delighted.
He had lots of toys.
I mean, many. Yeah. Delighted, Hoff. It's thrilling news.
There's a little twinkle in your eye.
The joys of watching your relationship with golf over the last 3 years it's been really miraculous.
Well, I mean, this can only help, right? Because consistency that's the biggest factor to the relationship. I like shooting 95 to 100. That's fine. it's the 108s and the 105s and the 110s where you're losing balls and you have no idea what you're doing. You can't get it airborne, or you can't, get it in the right areas or whatever. That's where the relationship starts to struggle. So it's
slumped over in your carts on your phone.
Checking emails.
Checking emails. That's the image I have of Hoff on the golf course. No, I'm good, Oaks. I'm not going to hit another one.
That was in Bali Lakes where you can't get the ball airborne and you're like, what am I doing?
No, that's a frustrating place to be.
So it's a much better place to, and I mean, my swing also has changed as the rounds go on. That's always been my problem, is something will work until it doesn't, and then now in the round you're trying to find what works. That hasn't happened in the last 2 rounds. It's been very much like a consistently going through the same process.
Well, that's great.
So,
I encourage you to keep using the big black ball, and keep using some of your training aids as well.
I'm only using that one now. The rest have been turfed.
Heads
they're
up,
back they're on Facebook Marketplace if you want.
Yeah, if anyone's looking for a good deal,
anyone's looking for 5 training aids.
He's going to bundle them all. He might even throw the red knob in there. Heads up putting. Just give it a go. If you're battling with your putting, honestly,
look,
I
don't want to jump to too many
year.
conclusions here, because my putting hasn't been historically hasn't been a problem for me, and like Cotswold got into my head because those greens were so flippin' fast, and those pin positions were like insane.
Yeah.
So I don't want to read too much into it. I think if the next round is a shit show putting wise, then I'll start those YouTube videos. But look, I need some help getting out of the sand. My God, that has been a fright. But everything else has been better.
Oh, terrific. Well, talking about getting better, JDV, talk us through the Cotswold Club Champs. You had this as an agenda item. We're winding down now, but we're gonna talk a little bit about competitive golf.
Relationship with the game might come into this equation as well. For the first time in JDV's
I'm
career.
Seeing someone with a smile and someone with a frown, and it's not the people you would have thought.
No, it's definitely probably one of the lower moments in my relationship with golf. Club Champs, I think I'm going to write more about Club Champs generally than I'm going to sort of chat about now. But I think it's a war of attrition out there, and it can get in your head quickly. I battled with a bit of pace of play issues, with quick greens and tough pin positions and holing out. And then on Sunday, the wind picked up substantially.
I believe it was
that Sunday was
pretty
wild,
diabolical. Out there.
God, I was just like, how many holes left before I can get off this course? Which is, I mean, the Club Champs organization and the show and everything they put on was absolutely fantastic. The golf was crazy difficult.
But like everyone must have battled.
I feel bad. So Trav set up the course with an idea that the wind was going to come from one direction, and it came from the opposite direction.
Oh.
So he had set up holes which he thought were going to be with the wind long. And holes that were into the wind short, and it was the other way around.
I mean, that's kind of always what you tell Oaks though. When
you completely butchered it.
I swear to God, I had my wind meter out, and it was
wind guru said this way.
But I mean, look, we all play in the same course at the end of the day, so I mean, it just tests different skills. But yeah, I think my brain was scrambled after that, and I got into doing what I always tell people not to do, which is don't worry about your swing and just hit the ball into like the area. And all I could do was think about my swing, was think about where my backswing was ending, was thinking about like
when was the last time
something that you never do.
I never do.
But when was the last time you did that?
You've been thinking about your wrists.
Correct.
About your position at the top.
So anyway, it got very, very bad very quickly. I didn't have any like major blowout holes. Like I wasn't shooting 10s or 11s. It was just a lot of like doubles and triples. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a lacquer weekend. I also managed to get knocked.
Like fun.
So much fun.
I also managed to get knocked out of the better ball. So Sean and I got knocked out first round there, and also got knocked out of the individual. So competitive golf going very
That's the end
well.
of your year.
That's it. Competitive golf for the year done.
You know, and what he's also not mentioning is in our little company, the G Africa Cup, the HSG tried to rig it to have 5 of their Oaks versus basically 1 of me. And I still prevailed, beating all of them.
All of them.
So
it's been a tough year.
JDV is still behind on that, but there's always the Hunt Cup.
Well, that hasn't been going well either.
2026 has not been good for you.
No.
But you can. I always think you can tell someone's form in golf if you go onto the handicap app, which amazingly is actually working, JDV, and it has a little bar graph here. But I'm just looking. 3. So of your scores that count towards your handicap, 3 of your last 12 have counted.
That's
so
about
that
right.
yeah, maybe
It's good. It's a good indication of
that tells a story
where I am.
of form. Yeah. But talking about form, guys, young Tom Morris, the Go Trackers were victorious once again.
Just back to back.
Back to back.
Were guys booing you in the clubhouse? Like
There was I think
Bit of animosity.
If we win next year, I think a few of the guys are going to string us up in the parking lot because we've got some very good
high handicappers.
16 handicappers. And I say that saying they play to their handicaps, but they very very good match play golfers. Put it that way.
Contributors.
But what I actually wanted to say was just guys. I said it last year, JDV, but that format is just such a great weekend, guys. I mean, it is such a great way to almost have like a mini golf tour where you've got your sort of group of guys that you're there with. You play in teams of 6, and there were 8 teams of 6. But you've got the chaos of like having a much bigger group there. And obviously because guys have been going for it, I think last year was the 10th, or this year was the 10th. Some of the guys have been doing it for 10 years. And so there's a huge amount of like history there.
So you've been doing it for 2 years and you've won both years.
We've won 2 out of 2. I mean, I don't know what Oaks are
I don't think
complaining
you're
about.
invited back next year.
A lot of the guys, we're 2 for 2.
I've been here for 10 years. I've never seen something like this.
A lot of the guys are like, we haven't even sniffed the one yet. So yeah, I'm not sure what the problem is there. And then again,
It's clearly a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Gari is just such a great match play golf course. I mean, guys, that 18th hole, guys, some of the Oaks were halving that hole with 10s. Like it was outrageous, you know. Guys are like, no, don't pick up. We're still in it, you know? But I've just hit 2 into the water. No, you don't understand.
Lay up now.
So did they. Really, really good match play course. JDV, I think I told you, we had several matches where we were like 3 holes down with 5 to play, and came back and won or halved a match just because of just the way that course is laid out. A lot can happen, particularly on the new holes on the front 9. There can be some quite big swings there. And then Hoff, just echoing your, talking about ball striking and that. I have to tell you guys. Obviously I went for lessons last year, and I think you guys saw firsthand it was some mixed golf that happened. JDV, you witnessed some of in fact, so did you, Taki, the famous touching the Sunday, where I was just touching the earth, the big earth, the big ball. I was just chunking everything. But I have to say, guys, I'm seeing ball striking out of my irons that I don't think I've ever had before. Like, the consistency of my irons is like, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm really starting to see some fruit from those lessons, Hoff. So I wish you well in your lessons.
Are you in uncharted territory?
Some of the shots I'm hitting, Taki, are it's a little bit scary how straight the ball's going. Look, and again, like Hoff says, but then you start battling with other parts of your game. So my chipping has been like really, really poor. I've always actually been quite a good chipper of the ball. Heads up putting has been like an absolute godsend. I'm definitely making more putts from between like 10 and 20 feet, like that kind of range. So like putts that you would normally only make 1 out of, I don't know, 6 or 7. Like I'm maybe making double that.
2.
Yeah, but that makes a difference, bro. Like 2 would be the number. But
exponential improvement.
JDV, you know that like if you make 2 20-footers in a day,
that's your day made.
That can make a huge difference.
It's about 2 putt.
Look, every now and again, because everyone looks at me, they go, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you looking at the hole when you're putting?" I'm like, "No, trust me, it's like genius." And then every now and again, I'll just boost it like 5 meters past the hole, and the Oaks are going.
I think that would be my problem if I did that.
So every now and again, I really miss hit it. I've learned that for a very, very long putt, I don't do it because you can genuinely like miss hit the ball. But no, it's working nicely, I must say. It's short putts particularly. Just looking at the hole, it takes your. I used to like be so focused on how I was pulling the putter back. I used to be like, oh, and then you end up like just shoving it, you know. So it takes that out of it completely. You just stroke the ball. Again, it gets a little bit aggressive.
Do you know what else? Do you know what else takes that out of the ball? Zero torque lab putter.
Yeah, but this saves me like 15,000 rand that I don't have to spend on one of those things. Tucky, nice
Cheers,
to
guys.
see you.
Thank you.
He's booking out. Gotta go
Hard
do
exit.
real job.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Thanks, boys. We'll see you soon.
Nice to see you, Tux. Guys, the competitive golf thing. Just lastly, I think JDV, just like.
Tucky's forgetting his puffer jacket here.
We're getting unchanged here, which is concerning with Hoff's talk of toys and shit. Looks to be wondering what we're doing here. Just how much fun like it is playing like competitive golf. And I know JDV, you've been deep in this for a long time, and you always talk about it. And I'm always like, I like the social round and that. But God, like having a really good match, there's nothing better. It really, really is fun, and feeling like nervous. You know,
But
like
you've got to
tense.
you've got to still marry that up with, like, I mean, the individual knockout I played with a guy who was very competitive, very good. But as long as you set the tone, like, whereas like I'm competitive, but I don't want to get into like a let's argue over the rules sort of a match.
Yeah.
And you playing like both played good, and we were both. He was very like complimentary. If I made a good shot, I was the same. Then it's like super fun.
It's awesome.
You know, I think you can get caught in it, get so competitive that it's unpleasant. I know
100%.
that's with any sport. I think that's the case.
Yeah.
But if you find that sweet spot of like both of you really want to win, but you're also very happy to, you know, lose to someone who's played good golf.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had some awesome singles matches on that Sunday at Gari. I mean, I was absolutely nowhere for the first like 7 holes, and guys were well up on me. And then, I mean, I've told you the format, but you're basically playing 3 matches simultaneously, 3 singles matches simultaneously. And I managed to come back, and I won all 3 of the matches, somehow beat our friend Bob on the very, very last hole at Gari, which I think he's still shaking his head about to this day, wondering how on earth I did that. Especially since I topped my tee shot. But they're like just a great golf. The matches, I think that's what I really like about like young Tom Morris as well, is that I think because a lot of the guys know each other, the matches are like competitive, but they're like friendly mostly, for the most part. We actually had an interesting situation, which I don't know if I told you about, but on the Saturday afternoon during 4 balls, the mist came in. And it was siren. They blew the siren, horn went off, and it was like basically unplayable. I mean, it was unplayable. And the rule that they'd had the year before was that the match result is determined like basically at the moment that they blow the horn. The match that we were playing in, we had fought back to be all square, and we were standing on the 18th or on the 9th tee box at Gari, and the horn went off, and we had just won the hole before to level the match, and horn went off, and like we said to the guys, we were like, what do you guys want to do? To be honest, we were kind of happy to like take a half because we'd been down the whole day, so we were like, horns off.
What do you want to do? We ready to go.
And they were like, absolutely not. This has been like a death match. Like we're all hitting irons and stuff because it's the 9th hole at Gari. And we were like, perfect. Like, you know, we were happy either way. And we ended up winning the hole, which is really sick. I think they were a bit bleak. The funny thing is we got to the green, and by the time we were like putting, it was pretty clear we were going to win. And then the one was like, you know what? It's actually a bit misty here. I can't see anything. Let's call it off. Yeah, but he was taking the piss. But there were a few matches where like guys had like a 4-foot putt or like a 4-foot putt to win the hole. Other guys were basically out the hole. And then the guys called it at the siren. And they would have won matches. So there were a few like things which were a little like, come on, guys, we could have putted out or whatever. But I guess rules are rules.
Depends what the rule is.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want to call it in your favor. But anyway, great weekend. Is there anything else, guys? And JDV?
No, I think we got quite a lot lined up. I know, obviously, Hoff, you've got your training, coaching sessions lined up, and I think we need to get, before you have your first session, we need to just have a little 30 minutes, if we can keep it to that, discussion about what you want to achieve, what Trav wants to try and get out of you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like umming and ahhing whether to have the first lesson first so that he can give us his assessment of what needs to be done so that we can track against
I want to hear like his take before he sees you.
We can do both.
Can you do you're going to take the kit?
Yeah.
Okay. You take it up there and do an interview.
Do a little breaky.
Doesn't have to be long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lekker. I'm excited for that.
I mean, if it works, great. Like, then, like, all credit where it's due. But
and possibly some video content.
He's got some.
He's
got some serious issues to contend
we
with.
might need to put one of those POV cameras on Hoff's head.
Or get myself
down at the big
some
black
meta
ball.
glasses.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's exciting. We got the handicap app.
H&A Saga.
H&A Saga there's a big. Let's say investigation going on our side, which it should be interesting. There's a lot else to talk about. We've got a couple of course reviews coming out as well, so we need to talk Royal and JDV. I'm putting you on the spot here. We had a couple of other courses.
Genuinely, we still need to do Cotswold. It's one like home courses. It's an easy one to get to and to sort of do one for. We still haven't actually done a review of it. But yeah, there's a couple of things bubbling under. We're trying to put a lot more media out.
Yeah,
I think. Shout out Nina, who's helping us out, and that should help us with getting more media and content stuff out. Yeah,
and then we should be today. It was supposed to be today, but our newsletter should be going out this weekend. JDV,
it's going to be this weekend. It's
waiting
coming
for your submission. But otherwise, if that's it. Thanks, guys. Let the pod end.
Thanks, boys.
Laka.